if you are not at $25,000 per month with your SMMA, with your social media marketing agency, then this video is honestly for you. Reason being is because I'm literally gonna show you exactly what you need to be focusing on to get to $25,000 per month with your agency. And I'm also gonna show exactly, forget the numbers and whatnot. I'm just gonna be showing you the 4 funnels, the only 4 funnels that you really need in order to scale your agency to literally 7 figures. Now guys, just before we jump into the video, make sure you go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Like honestly, I get so many messages from subscribers of the channel saying that they signed their first client, they've signed their second client, they've scaled their agency to 5K a month, 10K a month, whatever it is, just from being subscribed to the channel, because I post free content that will genuinely get you to, as I say, 5, 10,000 a month, or has the ability to get you to that point. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. So I know what I said at the start is a pretty bold claim, right? I'm going to help you get to 25,000 a month, but honestly, I will. Now, I can't do it for you, right? You need to put in the work, but I wanna show you the areas that you need to put work into in order to get to that point. See, I see this issue happen so much, it's ridiculous, okay? And that is that all these beginning agency owners, they're at 0 clients, maybe 1, 2 clients, maybe, they're pulling in, let's say, under 5,000 a month, right? And something else that I see is probably gonna come across as quite shocking to you, right? Because all these other people say it's super important, but I see people who are not even at 5,000 a month yet, they're structuring out their day far too much, right? They're giving this amount of time to this, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this, and they're almost spending more time on structuring their day than they are on actually implementing on tasks within the day that's gonna move the needle forward. I can guarantee you, right? I'm going a bit off topic here, I'm going a bit off script, but I see this happen all the time. People focus on structuring their day more so than they do on actual activities. Now, I'm all for having a good structure, having a good day structure, right? This kind of funnels down into a couple other ideas as well, such as, meditating and, manifestation and all that type of stuff. I'm all for that. I don't personally do any of that stuff, but I'm all for it because, I see it works firsthand for a lot of people that I know and speak to personally. But at the end of the day, if you just focus on that stuff, you're not gonna get to where you wanna go. You're not gonna get a 6-figure agency. You're not gonna get a multi-6-figure agency. That's just the facts. Now, how do you get to that point? How do you get a 6-figure agency? And obviously, as I said, how do you get to around 25,000 a month with your agency? Well, I'll tell you right now, outbound prospecting, outreach, reaching out to clients and signing clients. That's it. That's the only way you're going to get to those heights, okay? Now, one thing I do want to mention is that the service delivery side of things needs to be down packed. Don't mix me up with those other people on YouTube who say that you shouldn't focus on service delivery and you should just focus on signing a client and worry about service delivery later. I entirely disagree with that. I strongly disagree with that. Reason being is because you're gonna sign a client, right? If you focus on outreach, outbound prospecting, you're gonna sign a client. How long? That's the bit that changes, but you're going to sign a client. I can't guarantee it, but it's gonna happen, okay? If you focus on outreach. Now, what will happen is if you don't focus on service delivery, then I can guarantee that that client will leave you a month later because you can't deliver results. So you most definitely need to make sure service delivery is in place. Now, a lot of people that I see and that I speak to and that are in the program and whatnot, a lot of the times they don't know how to deliver the results themselves, right? They don't know how to run ads that warrants a really good return, a return that's higher than the amount that they're charging their service fee, right? In terms of profit. So that's fine. You need to bring a media buyer on board in that scenario, okay? And I'm not gonna get into that in this video because that's a topic for another video, and I do have a myriad of other videos on this channel covering that exact topic, but just make sure that your service delivery is intact, right? And as I say, if you don't know yourself, bring a media buyer on board, and that's service delivery down packed. Now, you may need to cycle through that media buyer to find the perfect one, but again, that's a topic for another day. What I wanna get across to you though, so anybody who tells you different, right? Anybody who says, you need to focus on, getting the best tax structure and doing this and doing that, has never scaled an agency to, 30K a month, 40K a month, 50K a month, etc. They just haven't done it, because if they would have done it, then they would have put a huge emphasis on outbound prospecting. And on the topic of outbound prospecting, that kind of goes into, the main kind of idea for this video in terms terms of the only 4 funnels that you need to scale your agency to 50K a month, okay? I wanted to have that little segment at the start because I don't want you to get hung up on these 4 funnels, you know, if you've got no clients, right? Because as I say, if you focus on these 4 funnels, only one of them is going to help you, and I'll get onto which one here in a minute, but only one of them is actually gonna help you get to a point where then you can start focusing on the rest. If you focus on the rest, you'll never get to the point where you need the rest, if that makes sense, okay? So the 4 funnels that you need, okay, is outbound prospecting, which is outreach, okay? That's having a solid method, whether it's email outreach, whether it's Instagram DMs, Facebook messages, a LinkedIn outreach, phone, cold calls, whatever it is, right? If you're in the e-com niche, which I highly recommend you are, you only need email outreach, right? Email outreach will get you to multi-6 figures without doubt. I know it because I did it, okay? But you need some sort of funnel that routinely works. You know you can reach out to X amount of prospects and you can get X amount of meetings. From those meetings, you can get a client, 2 clients, X amount of clients, whatever it is, okay? You need to have a funnel of that nature in place because that is something that you can control, okay? You know, another kind of a method of getting clients, which I don't honestly recommend when you're starting out, but another method of getting clients is, you know, building a personal brand on Facebook, right? In Facebook groups and becoming kind of the leader in your niche. Again, I recommend it's e-com, becoming the leader in your niche and then creating content, writing copy and whatnot for those groups, and then people reach out to you. The problem with that method is, you know, it works very well, but the problem is it's unpredictable, right? You're not gonna have every post, you're not gonna get a client from. Every post, you're not gonna get this many people message you, this many clients. It just doesn't happen like that, like it does with outbound prospecting, right? Once you've got a funnel dialed in for outbound prospecting, you know you can send 100 messages, get 10 meetings, get 2 clients, send 200 messages, get 5, whatever it is, right? The numbers obviously vary, but you know you can do this much and get a client. That is so powerful, and it's kind of vital to running an agency, or a successful one. Because running an agency, you know, it's a very, very good business model, and you can make a lot of money doing it, given that you can actually provide a very, very high value service to your clients. But the thing is people drop, right? Clients drop for a myriad of reasons. I've had clients drop in the past where we were getting them amazing results. We were getting them like a 6 ROAS at $1,000 a day, at $2,000 a day. I think we got up to actually at one point was getting around a 6 to 8 ROAS. That's amazing, amazing results. The client dropped because of so many different reasons, right? And so, you know, you could have 2 clients drop within a week. Now, the problem with that is if you've only got 2 clients, you go from making $6,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever it is, to making $0 a month. So you need to make sure your pipeline's full, because if it's not, right, if you're relying on those 2 clients, you've just gone completely out of business and you've got nothing to fuel your client roster now, okay? So you need to make sure you've got something like that on point. Now, as I say, tying back in with my point, outbound prospecting is vital because you know in those instances, okay, I just need to send 100 emails and then I'll get 2 clients. I'll get a client. I need to send 200 emails, I'll get 1 client, whatever it is. Very, very important. You need to make sure that's on point. So that's the first funnel, and that funnel is the only funnel that you should be focusing on if you've got no clients. Okay, if you're below 5,000 a month, you need to make sure that that is the only funnel that you focus on, because that's the only thing that's going to move the needle forward. If you now focus on these following funnels that I'm going to mention, it's not going to move the needle forward, because you need that client roster there in order for these next ones to be very, very effective. Now, if you do have the client roster there, you know, you're at 5,000 a month, 6 figures, 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 15,000, whatever it is, you're making pretty good money, you're tracking along very nicely. This is when the following 2 funnels come in place, and then the last one that I'm going to talk about can be done at any point, but you just don't want that to kind of take away from the main thing, okay? And I'll get onto that here in a minute. But second funnel, okay? Stop rambling on, Kai, get to the second funnel. That is paid traffic, right? You need, again, in order to get to 7 figures with your agency, so, you know, we're not talking about 6 figures anymore. That can be done through outbound prospecting, through outreach, okay? You can get to, I'd say 30K a month, to be honest, with outbound prospecting. Very, very easily. I've seen a myriad of people do it, right? Students in the program are doing that routinely, okay? But in order to get to 7 figures, right? In order to get to that next level, you need paid traffic. Paid traffic must be involved, because again, that's how you're gonna fuel that pipeline, and it's only by fueling that pipeline that you'll be able to scale your agency. And what paid traffic does is it fuels that pipeline, like it takes things to a whole new level. You go from booking 5 calls a week to 15 calls a week, right? You go from having a call every 2 days to having 3 calls a day, to having 5 calls a day, whatever it is, right? Things dramatically scale up. Now, getting a paid traffic funnel in place that you know you can spend $100 and get a call, even $300 and get a qualified booked call, that takes a lot of resources in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience, and in terms of obviously the most common one, the most obvious one, takes money, okay? So you need money to be able to run paid traffic. If you've only got, I'd even say if you've only got like $3,000, right? You won't be able to build a predictable and scalable paid traffic system, right? You just won't, it's just not enough. You need to, honestly, I would say you need to have at least bare minimum $5,000 that you can comfortably lose. Like you don't need to make it back because there's so many things you need to test. And the biggest thing that you'll have to test, it's not so much the advertising, because if you've got clients, you're running ads for clients, right? And you're getting good results for those clients, which you need to be doing before you even think about paid traffic for your agency. You'll understand how to run ads that convert because you're doing it, right? Yes, it's a different industry. You're optimizing for a different outcome, but you still understand the dynamic. You still understand how things work. The biggest thing that you'll have to test and you'll have to be routinely iterating on, spending money, getting data, and making iterations is the funnel itself. That's the most important thing, I would say. I would say like it's probably 60% of, you know, building a successful paid traffic funnel for your agency. Okay, so you need 5,000 minimum, ideally roughly 10,000 that you're comfortable to lose. Okay, this is why I always say it's for people who are already running a successful agency, and also because you need the results and all that type of stuff. That's the second funnel you need. Okay. Third funnel, and again, this is only for those people who are past the 6-figure mark, who are, you know, ideally at multi-6 figures by this point. Second funnel you need is some sort of hiring funnel, hiring VSL, however you want to structure it. That's super important because this is now how you can start to attract the top talent for your agency. And once you start to attract the top talent for your agency, again, that's when 7 figures becomes a hygiene standard for you, and you can then start to, depending on what your goals are with the agency, some people just want to get to 50K a month and just sit there. If you're like me, you want to get to multi-7 figures, you want to really, really push things as far as you can take them. And to do that, you need to have some sort of hiring VSL in place. Now, there's obviously different job roles, right? But you need to have a funnel that you can just duplicate for different job roles, so then people can go through and that's how you start to hire this top talent, right? This is how you get the best of the best, and it's also how you get the best of the best to be excited to work with you by going through these processes. And it helps automate things and all that type of stuff. But again, topic for another day. It is just the third funnel though that you need to have in your agency. Once you get past, as I said, like 25, 30K a month, these are other funnels that you need to have in place. And the fourth one, now this funnel is, I would say, it's important for every agency owner to have. But the reason I'm saying, the reason I've left it to the end, and the reason I'm saying it's important for the every agency owner to have, but I didn't mention it at the start, right? I'm saying it's not that important for people who are beginning, is because I don't want it to take away focus from the most important thing, right? If you've got no clients, the most important thing is outbound prospecting. But something else that you do need to have, but you don't want it to take away from the main thing, is some sort of onboarding funnel. Because, the time that a client is most likely to leave you and is most just volatile and, they're most nervous about working with you is within that first month. Okay, now out of that first month, when they're most just on the fence, even though they've paid the contract, they paid the invoice, signed the contract, they're still a little bit, you feel a little bit uneasy, is within that first 2 weeks. Okay, now if you have an amazing onboarding funnel, then that's gonna make the client kind of go, oh, thank you. They've made the right choice, and that's really one of the main things. Apart from the logistical things of getting access to their ads manager and getting access to all this stuff within the onboarding funnel, one of the main things of the onboarding funnel and one of the super important goals of it, right? Whether you do it in the onboarding funnel or the onboarding call, as I said, is just to make them feel as though, okay, I've made the right choice, because that's gonna make the working relationship start off as it means to go on, right? You don't want it to start off with people message, or if you sign on a client and you've got no sort of structure there, they're gonna be like, what's going on with this? What's happening with this? When can I expect my ads to go live? And then if 2 weeks in, then you're asking for access to their ads manager, they're just gonna be like, oh my God, I've made the worst decision. And then they're gonna leave you as soon as they possibly can. They'll break the contract contract, they'll just not pay the next invoice and it'll just be an absolute shambles, okay? But as I said, I don't want that to be kind of a ticket for you to then forget what's gonna actually move the needle forward, outbound prospecting if you're just starting out, and focus on that because that's not as important as actually getting clients, okay? So overall, the 4 main funnels that you need for your agency: outbound prospecting funnel, hiring VSL, paid traffic funnel, right? And also an onboarding funnel. Now the rest, there's a lot of other stuff that you need to have in place within your agency, but for me, I would call that more of a process that you follow, right? Like an SOP, okay? It's not like a funnel that you build within ClickFunnels. It's an area that a lot of people know about. They know that funnels are important and whatnot, but I just think it's something that not a lot of people talk about in terms of what do you actually need? What type of funnels do you actually need to build in ClickFunnels, for example? That's the funnel builder that I use. It's super, super powerful. I absolutely love it. I'm a little bit nervous because I've heard some things that ClickFunnels and Facebook aren't as compatible anymore, and a lot of rejections are happening because of that. I'm hoping that fizzles out and it's not true, but yeah, anyway, aside from the point, I love ClickFunnels. I think it's an amazing, amazing tool. But as I say, a lot of people, a lot of the times, they don't know what type of funnels they need to build. For me, they're the 4 main funnels that you physically can build within ClickFunnels. As I say, there's a lot of other systems and processes in place that you need for your agency, but overall, they're the 4 main funnels that you need for your agency. They're the 4 main funnels that will get you to literally 7 figures, right? 80K a month, they'll get you there. 100K a month, it'll get you there. But as I say, there's a lot of other systems and processes. Don't just think that that's the only 4 things you need in your agency. There's other systems and processes that are in place, but from a funnel standpoint, that's kind of it. So overall, I hope this brought some more clarity to you for your agency. And if you're just starting out, kind of what you need to be focusing on: outbound prospecting. That's it. Get them, outbound prospecting, that needs to be your main focus. That's where 90% of your focus needs to be. The remaining 10% can be on things such as onboarding and getting your service delivery down packed. If you know how to run the ads yourself, you can put 100%, right? Or 98% minus the onboarding into outbound prospecting, right? But if you don't know how to run ads, which is completely fine, you need to make sure that you're finding a media buyer who can get ads, who can get results from ads for your given niche. As I say, this video is really more around an agency overall. Your niche should be, though, whether this applies to any niche, but it should be e-com. But yeah, as I say, overall, that's what you need to be focusing on when you are starting out, and even at the higher end of running an agency, 100K a month. To be honest, they're the 4 main funnels that you need. So again, I hope this brought some more clarity to you. If it did, make sure you go ahead, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.